Good morning, students. Students, we are doing the chapter Separation of Substances, in which we did different methods of separation of components from a mixture when the two or more components are solids. That means we did different methods of separation of the component of a solid mixtures. They are the different methods are handpicking, tracing, winnowing, sieving, magnetic separation, and sublimation. These are the methods which are used to separate the components of a solid mixtures. Now today I am going to start to discuss about the methods which are used to separate the components of a solid liquid mixture. Students, now we have to discuss about the separation of components of a mixture of solids and liquids. Such type of mixtures are having two types of components. The first one solids which dissolve in liquid and another is solids which do not dissolve in liquid. At first we will come to know about the methods of separating solids that dissolve in liquids. As you know that some solids dissolve completely in a liquid to form a clear solution. For example, salt and sugar dissolve completely in water. The components of such mixtures can be separated by different methods. The first one is evaporation. This method is used to separate solid substances dissolved in a liquid. And I'm going to tell you, explain you one activity. In this, we have to take a glass beaker and we will fill it half with water. We will add 4 or 5 teaspoons of salt to it. Stir it well till the salt dissolve in the water. Now transfer this salt solution into a china dish and then we will heat it over a burner. Water starts evaporating. When almost all the water has evaporated, we will put off the burner and observe. We will see that there are some white particles of salts are left behind in the china dish after the water get evaporated from the mixture. We will get the particles of salt. That means in this method we can separate the salt from the solution of salt and water. This method is commonly used to obtain common salt that we use in our food from seawater. Seawater is collected in shallow beds dug near the sea, and then with the help of heat of the sun, evaporation takes place. That means water which are collected in the shallow bed ducts near the sea get evaporated due to the heat of the sun, and then it leaves behind the particles of salts. In this way, common salt is obtained from seawater. That means evaporation is the process of separating a solid which get dissolved in a liquid completely, and this method is used to obtain common salt from seawater. One information I want to share: on an average, a liter of seawater has about 36 gram of edible salt in it. 1 liter of seawater has 36 gram of edible salt in it. The next method of separation is crystallization. This method is used to obtain pure solids from a given solution. For example, the salt we get from seawater has many impurities in it. To remove these impurities, the process of crystallization is used. That means we can separate the impurities from the salt that we get after evaporation of seawater. It has many impurities, and by the process of crystallization, we can remove these impurities. Crystallization, it is a process which separates a pure solid in the form of its crystals from a saturated solution. Again, I'm going to explain crystallization with an activity. For this, we will take 100 ml water in a beaker and prepare a saturated solution of sugar in it. For this, we will keep on mixing sugar in water until it can dissolve no more of sugar. We will transfer this saturated solution into a china dish. We will heat the china dish on a wire gauge. Stir the solution occasionally with a glass rod. When small crystals start appearing on the glass rod, we will stop heating the solution. Now we will allow the solution to cool without disturbing it. After cooling, there there are small crystals of pure sugar will appear in the china dish. In this way, we can separate pure sugar from a solution. Crystallization is often used for purification of salt we get from sea. We can also use this process to separate out crystals of alum, fitkiri, and blue vitriol, which is known as Nila Thotha, from their impure samples. The next method is for separating solids that do not dissolve in liquids. Some solids do not dissolve in a liquid. For example, tea leaves, chalk powder, sawdust, and pulses are all insoluble in water. The components of such mixtures can be separated by different methods. The number one is sedimentation and decantation. Sedimentation is a process by which insoluble heavy solid particles in a mixture settle down on their own when left undisturbed for some time. When we left the mixture for some time undisturbed, then the heavy insoluble particles get settled down on their own. In order to separate out the two, the liquid has to be gently poured into another container without disturbing the settled down solid particles or sediments. The process of obtaining clear liquid by pouring it into another container without disturbing the sediments is called decantation. That means settling down of heavy, impossible, insoluble particles by their own is known as sedimentation, and pouring or obtaining clear liquid by pouring it into another container without disturbing the sediments is known as decantation. Sedimentation and decantation methods are used for removing insoluble impurities from river and canal water. They are used in water treatment plants that supply drinking water to our homes, schools, and offices. In homes, when pulses and rice are washed before cooking, the water used for washing them is separated by sedimentation and decantation method. The next method of separation is loading. Sedimentation is a slow process. It takes more time. In this process, the finer particles can take a long time to settle down. In order to speed up this process, we often take the help of loading. That means loading is the process which speeds up sedimentation by making light suspended particles heavier by using suitable chemicals. In this process, we use some chemicals which make the light particles, like light suspended particles, heavy and help it to be settled down easily and fast. Now I am going to discuss one activity. For that, we will take a piece of alum. Generally, it is known as fitkiri. We will tie it to a thread and dip it 3 or 4 times in a beaker of muddy water. Now we will take it out and let the muddy water stand undisturbed for some time. We will note the time taken by the mud particles to settle down. Now we will compare it with the time taken by them during a direct sedimentation. We will find that loading makes the process a lot faster. In this particular case, the alum dissolves quickly, sticks to the fine mud particles, and make them heavier. The heavier mud particles settle down more easily and quickly. It has been observed that it is sometimes difficult to breathe after a strong wind and storm. This is due to the presence of fine suspended dust particles in the air. A rainfall after storms removes these dust particles and the air becomes clear and fresh again. How? This is done by the rainwater. The dust particles in the air get loaded with the rainwater and settle down easily. Thus, loading helps in cleaning the air more quickly. Shopkeepers often sprinkle water around their shops if the area is not cemented. Also, before sweeping a dusty room, water is sprinkled. In these situations, water is used to load the dust particles so that they do not float in the air. By that means by using this method, we can make the light particles heavy to settle down easily and faster, and it will help in cleaning the air also. Students, today we discussed about different methods of separating components from a solid liquid mixture in which the components do not dissolve in water And there are some methods also in which the components get dissolved in water. So, students, that's all for today. Thank you. Have a nice day.